Hello there and welcome back to War Thunder to yet another ship gameplay, again in the German destroyer the Z-20, and I'm guilty of playing ships a lot. I have kind of a very high interest in them becoming good, but I also really have fun playing them, especially the destroyers, and I'm working my way up to the light cruiser. And yeah, it's a bit more effective with the German destroyer, and one of the reasons might be this battle. This was, I guess, the best battle overall in War Thunder that I had in months. I'm not joking. This was very, very exciting. Now, I want to clarify certain things. First of all, I'm avoiding the fight in the open. I don't have the ammunition capacity. I want to go into a knife fight with the patrol boats. That's more exciting, that's more rewarding, and it is the best use of my ship to help my team to potentially win the game, and also the income is just then massively higher. That doesn't mean that I avoid any sort of fight with the destroyers, and I already launched a nice spread of torpedoes at long range. I don't know how high their range is. There is no information available except for that one module that you have that gives you plus 8 kilometers range. So at least at 8 kilometers those torpedoes are posing a threat for the enemy incoming destroyers. So I put here some effective flanking fire into the enemy after I checked out if there are enemy patrol boats in the vicinity. It doesn't look like, but just in a moment when there are no more targets available, here is the first kill assist. I think I can then harvest the patrol boats. Now, this is not the most honorable way to fight, I know this, but this is how Gaijin wants me to play it, obviously. When it comes to the map design, every single map has the very same layout for destroyers versus patrol boats. This is how it is. I do not really support it, and yeah, we will see how this works out, and I don't think that this is any sort of fun for the patrol boats. Watch this. Now I see some enemy ships incoming. Now this is down to the aiming system. I know how the aiming system works. I know how to adjust for my relative speed to the enemy's ship's speed, how to lead and all those things, and how to, you know, mark the enemies with X and to use the mouse wheel. I know this. It's a bit stunning that people still write this in the comment section, but here we have a problem. I couldn't mark here the charging S-100 ship because it was not really pointing it out. So eventually it did, but just after some very precious seconds. In tank RB, I'd be dead for this, so the ship is not really reacting to what I want it to do, or at least the gunning thing. And while I certainly can understand it for destroyers and patrol and light cruisers, for patrol boats it's nonsense. Also, then there are situations like this. I get shot from the left, I see it, and I think to myself, oh boy, those are a lot of enemies. And I want to shoot him, but it doesn't work. Also, the torpedoes launch in a little bit of a different direction than the indicator is showing. I hit an aircraft, triple strike. Now I want to aim at the other S-100, which is actually looking in my direction, and I can't hit it. I hammered the X key for marking an enemy target, but it doesn't, so I have to manually adjust, and even that doesn't work because the damn thing is manually overriding my things. And now I'm very lucky because one patrol boat is ramming the other, kicking it out of the way, and I get with one armor piercing salvo a double strike. Oh boy. By the way, I started with 89% crew. I think this is a bug. Somebody should report it. I cannot do everything. I have to make my videos, I have to play the game to actually know how it works, to present you the stuff in a video. Another thing is here the destroyer. I saw immediately where it was. There was no patrol boat in the vicinity. I now have to adjust here for my speed. I'm slowing down to accelerate in a forward movement again, and now I immediately destroyed the other Carl here, the Type 39. It shows me that I'm shooting the waterline, but it didn't with the first salvo, so the shells were going completely into a different direction than I actually wanted to aim. Another patrol boat is charging me, and I instantly execute him. I see the torpedoes even without the markers, and I swing the rear of the ship around to avoid them. I get rocketed, and then this happens. Wow, my frontal ammo rack just burned down. it exploded. My 2 frontal turrets are knocked out, and I'm also switching here for my secondaries to just shoot at enemy ships as well. So the frontal Amarak is still burning bright. I don't flood, thankfully, or at least the ship, or at least the pumps keep the ship afloat. I'm busy extinguishing it. From 88% crew I went down to 11% crew, and again the shells don't fly to the targets which I selected, but the shells just flew in another direction. And now I'm disengaging. I have done my duty and we still don't have C. So now I have here a little friend that's next to me and an LS class. This is the first German ship. Don't worry about the ping, it doesn't really matter, but you know, just for size comparison, look at this. It's tiny, and I'm in a, you know, quote-unquote tiny destroyer, and watch those shots. First salvo is already not too shabby. I adjust for it, and the next salvo, well, it was there, but the spread of the accuracy of the guns straddled the shells around the enemy destroyer without receiving a hit. But it doesn't really matter. So my ship got bombed, my ship got rocketed, my ship got shot, my ship got torpedoed, the crew is down, my frontal Amarak exploded and burned down. The frontal turrets now, despite being repaired, have no ammunition. So I'm down to 3/5 of my actual firepower, and I have to sail away from the enemy to have the 3 turrets being able to shoot there in the first place. I am low on armor piercing shells, but I still have a lot of high explosive shells with the base fuse. So yeah, my ship took quite a beating, and wow, I can tell you that was so exciting. That was one hell of a match. Quick reactions, fighting the game as much as I fought the enemy. And again, here you can see the size comparison. It's just a tiny little ship with my auto squatted teammate. 7th kill assist, 1 plane shot down, multiple kills, 1 capture zone, and as I told you, I took quite a beating. I'm barely alive. 11% crew is not a lot. Somebody just has to shoot the rear end of my ship with 1 or 2 shells and I will blow up. I think there is not a single part on my ship that didn't get shot before. Yeah, and I had a lot of fun, and I did the important part, securing B and destroying a lot of enemies, which helps you in the long run to also capture the points to win the game. So everybody has to carry his part of the match, and that was exciting that I was able to do my job. So the LS ship is now probably going for the C point. It's very fast and it's rather difficult to hit at longer ranges, even for destroyers, if they spot it in the first place. Also, it can smoke itself up, and then good luck trying to get a shot on it. So here I'm also shooting an enemy destroyer, and the shells are looking better and better. I'm just firing 3 at a time. First good hit, and there we blow him up with an ammunition explosion. So again, it's a Type 1924 destroyers. Poor lad, it was not his battle, and I already hit the destroyer behind him. So at this moment I'm speechless. Now again, back to the aiming system. What is here the problem? The problem with the aiming system is that we have, for patrol boats, no alternative for direct fire or to use all the machine cannons. A ship that has multiple 37, 40 and 20mm cannons and machine guns, 15mm, 20mm cannons, it cannot use them all at the same time. But a ship that has less but more of the same just has effectively more firepower, even if you can switch between them. That's the one thing, so that you have no alternative to this, well, fire control system, even on a patrol boat where there is a lot of knife fighting going on, which makes then absolutely no sense. Also in destroyers, sometimes we want to use the direct fire. For long range engagement or enemies that are on a normal course, it makes sense, especially for larger ships like light cruisers. You really feel the advantages compared to a direct fire mode. I agree, but there is no alternative. That's the problem. Then it just always aims too high by default, And I know that you can adjust it with the mouse wheel, which I constantly do, otherwise I would have been dead 3 times over in this match instead of the enemy. And I think many people just don't watch my videos but write those smart comments in the comment section and referring to other YouTubers. I know how the system works. That doesn't mean that I like it or that it is flawless and I can adapt to it, but it's still not very enjoyable, especially in situations where you fight the game and the game mechanics more than you're fighting the enemy. This is then where it's really frustrating, and we have already enough of this in Air RB and Tank RB, and even in Air and Tank Arcade, hell, even in Simulator, and I don't want this to have for ships. Another tactic is here. You can see here probably the torpedoes coming in. There is no marker on them yet, but it doesn't really matter. I saw the bubbles in the water and the traces that they just pull. The thing is, torpedoes at long range, I think a lot of information is still missing. For the shells, the amount of information is not always complete. For example, what kind of penetration do I have at long range, exceeding 2000 meters, which is the majority of destroyer versus destroyers engagements. I mean, at the moment it's not that important because you penetrate everything anyways with the armor piercing shell, but to make sure that I'm saying it here right. The torpedoes, how far do they go? Which range do they have? How fast can they travel? How heavy is the warhead? And all those things, I want to know them. The same goes for the high explosive shells. How sensitive is the fuse? How high is the fuse delay? Can I probably adjust it? And the same goes here for the armor piercing shells in particular. Not all the informations that we are even used from Tank RB are given to us here, and sometimes that might lead to confusion. A lot of the confusion on my end at least got clarified when we got into the normal closed beta from the pre-closed beta like a week ago or 1.5 weeks ago, but it's still strange at times. Now, I think it is, despite all the issues, nevertheless very exciting, relearning certain parts of the game, being part of the change, and it's fresh and it's amazing. And when I played planes and tanks, I was really used to it, despite not playing them for quite a while. And that is the income of one of the most exciting battles that I've played in a while. 85,000 silver lions, 5,200 vehicle research points, and that was enough to unlock the Type 1924 destroyer, which I will just purchase in a moment, with the Survivor Award and the Assist Award, and that adds a lot to the money. Then also 9 ships destroyed, 1 aircraft down, and 8 kill assists and 1 capture zones with nearly 5,000 score points. So that was very exciting for me, very entertaining. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this battle. I really enjoyed it, and once it ended, I immediately had to make a video. That's it for me today, so thanks for watching, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed playing it and making a video on it, then please consider giving it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies, on the battlefields, and on the waves of War Thunder.